Hi, welcome back to Game Room Crafts. I'm Kelly and this is our game room, so let's play. Yesterday, I did a project that left us with a bit of extra resin, so I poured it in my geode coaster mold. This was actually a couple of pours because I had a couple of times of leftover resin, and that we shall not be talking about because those were mistakes. So I decided I'm going to utilize this in a way that we've been doing here at home for a while. This is our bunny mixed mold phone holder slash incense cone burner. You can put a cone incense right here and burn this. Because it's mixed mold, not a problem. You don't have to worry about flame or heat or anything, but this is how it works as a phone holder. Thank you, kid. And it works either way. So I mean, that's what we've been doing with them anyway. We do our geodes. Thank you. We do our geodes. We do an animal. So in this case, this one's a bunny and it is mixed to mold, but I've done elephants, bears. Bears work really well. It's really all about the height, because if the animal is too short, it won't hold your phone. So like I said, this one is mixed to mold, but since we have a base already made of resin, we're going to do one in resin today. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some Bond Crafter 1-to-1 epoxy resin, and then we'll get started. We'll see you in a bit. Okay, and we're back, and I have mixed up 100 ml of clear Bond Crafter epoxy resin 1-to-1. That's this stuff. Oh, so good. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure how much this little bunny makes, believe it or not, and I've made him many times and I just never paid attention to how much it took. So we're going to start with 50 and go from there. This time we are casting our little bunny in Rosafar Pearl White mica powder. And I may or may not hit it with a little bit of my alcohol shimmer, but we shall see what it looks like before we do that. So I'm going to use my mixer. Pardon my noise. You want to make sure you get your mica powders mixed in very well, because if not, it will show on your finished product. You will get lumps, you will get bumps, you will get very obvious clumps of unmixed mica powder, and it's not pretty. But that's pretty. Very pearly. But I can still see my blue through it. So I am going to add a bit more. Yes, I am. I want my bunny to be opaque, because I think transparent bunnies might scare the kids. I'm not sure. And we go again. You know, ideally you put your mica powder in first and then you add your resin, so you don't get a poof of powder in your face. But here we go. Okay, this is 50. I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that that actually takes the whole 50. I'm going to squirt a little bit of alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, down into the ears, because if you are going to get bubbles, there's a couple of places you're going to get them. In molds like these, animals, ears, tips of ears, under the chin, great place for bubbles to hide out, and tails. So squirt a little alcohol in there before we pour our resin in. Squishing it around, trying to get it in all the little places that the bubbles hang out, so that it's coated in resin by the time I pour the rest of it in. Wow, if I scrape it, I think I actually got it. In which case, little Mr. Bunny will get written down that he is 50. Look at that. The thing is, normally I like to dome my projects, but with something like the animals, when you dome them, you end up with all this trim you have to, sometimes, depending on the animal. Sometimes you don't. It really does depend on how the mold is made. Yeah, that, scraping that was perfect. Exactly 50. So, remember this brand, Craverland. These are the best scrapers on the market that I have come, and I've tried a lot of different silicone scrapers and tools, kitchen gadgets, whatever. This gets your cups very, very clean. It just takes that little bit of extra effort to go in there and do it, but I've done it before with other scrapers and not gotten my cups this clean. I mean, really, that's amazing to me. Okay, so Mr. Bunny, 50 ml for Mr. Bunny, and I have to write that down so that I don't forget for the next time. Now, I may have hit Mr. Bunny on the nose with that. However, I don't think his friend, the hippo, is going to be so lucky. I think he's going to end up needing more resin. We shall see. So, the kid has requested that we do Mr. Hippo in purple because she really wants a purple pomatus. This is 50 ml. Let's move Mr. Bunny back here so he's out of the way so I don't knock him over, because I will knock him over. Yep, that's me. Okay, and here from Recollections, color is grape. And you can see that that's a pretty purple color. So we shall give it a shot and see what we get. And seeing as how we needed to do extra on the bunny, we'll do 2 on the hippo. Maybe 3. The hippo's a little deeper than the bunny because his head is quite large. So get ready to mute because I am going to be using my mixer. Oh, that was a little bit of my unicorn crushed crystal shimmer ink that I make. So I just wanted to get it in there. Plus I thought I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone and help clean off my paddle, but apparently that's not working. That's okay, because it'll just go on my scrappy mat. Scrape those sides. And yeah, my resin is starting to warm up. It's been sitting here for a while. Because remember, I made it with my bunny. And again, we're going to spray down here because you see those ears? He has nostrils. We're going to get in there with some alcohol so that we don't get any bubbles, or at least try not to get any bubbles. Actually, these are teeth. They're not nostrils, they're teeth. But every time I cast them, you can barely see them. They're not very deep in this mold. Okay, here we go. And stop right there. Give it a squish in the ears, both ears. Try and get any bubbles to come up. And then again, we have the teeth and the chin. And remember, when you're doing an animal, 8 out of 10 times, if you're going to get bubbles, it's going to be in that chin. Because there's an angle here. The bubbles like to hang out in angles. So, you know, it is what it is. Well, it would have been lovely if I had the whole thing in 50, but I don't think I do. Because you see, he has a little tail back there, and I don't think I'm going to get it. I don't know. Maybe with the scraping. Oh, I think we will. I think there's plenty in here. Is full and he is domed. Wow, guys, that was perfect. So for my hippo and my bunny, 50 each, 50 ml each. And that is going to go in my little diary that I started here, so that the next time I cast these guys, I know exactly how much I need. Because here's the thing. People tell you measure with water. I'm going to tell you right now, that doesn't work. I mean, it does, but you're going to be a little short. I don't know if it's the viscosity or what, but if you do it with water, you're going to be a little short. You can do it with rice. I have had some success with measuring it with rice. Yeah, I think rice is actually more accurate than doing it with water, but you know, that's just me. That's my opinion and I'm sticking to it. And I am not, you know, normally I would spray for bubbles on the top, but I'm not going to do it because I overdomed him. If I do it, it's going to break the surface tension and we are going to end up with purple resin everywhere. And nobody wants to see that. Okay, so we're going to let these cure up. We will be back when they are done and we're ready for the next step. See you soon.
A little while later.
Hey, and we're back. It's been 4.5 hours and they are done. So let's get the bunny out first. This is my cup of extras. Little scraps. If it's on the edge, I pull it off, throw it in there. You can always use it for filler later. Plus, it gets it off my hand. Okay, how's my tail? Little bubble on the end of the tail right there, which I tried to get, but you know, be careful here because it is sharp. Let's see if we can get it over his chin, which surprisingly, well, teeny tiny micro bubbles. You can't see it. You can feel it, but you cannot see it. And we're going to pull it over the head this way and off the ears. Yippee! No bubbles on the ears. So that's good. That's good, good, good. And flip that back because you do not want to leave your mold flipped the wrong way for an extended period of time or you will ruin your mold. Okay, and this one's the hard one. The purple pomatus. This one is not easy to demold because his head is so big. See the chin? Comes way far out past the rest of his body. Try and give it a little squirt of alcohol and see what happens. If you can get the alcohol in there and work it down. Here, Pepsi. Once you can get it over the chin, much easier. But again, bubbles and the little teeth did not cast out. So, I mean, as you can see, it's very little. We can color that in and it'll be fine. But we're not using him today. He's going to need a trim up anyway in order to be used. So this is what we're doing today. We're going to take our little bunny and we are going to do his eyes, give him a little bit of ear color, maybe the nose, and then we're going to finish making our phone home. We want a good pink. That's a good pink. Okay, I'm gonna put some pink in the ear area. And then I'm gonna take a cotton bud and I'm gonna rub it in there because I don't want it super bright, but I do want that color in there. Do the same thing on the other side. And again, with the cotton bud. Okay, and I think I'll make her nose pink too. This is not my forte. I am not an artist by any means. Okay, so pink. Hey kid. We doing the eye in black?
I don't see why not.
Okay, so the eye in black. You walked into the wall? Did the wall jump out and get in your way?
Yes, it attacked me.
It attacked you. Yeah, well, you come by clumsy.
I come by clumsy.
You come by clumsy. Quite honestly, it runs in the family. Okay, so I'm going to do that and then go around and clean it up with my micro brush because it's just easier that way. Go right around the edge with my little micro brush. Up, the bird's out there, Peps. You want to go get it?
He looked up and his ears perked up.
He doesn't really chase the birds very much. It's the other dogs and people that he doesn't like.
Oh, it's stressing him out.
Did you just say the dog is stressed out?
No, the birds are stressing him out.
I should make the kid do this. I bet you're better at it than me, kid.
I don't know.
Well, you colored a lot, more than I did in the last 18 years.
And none of that was in the past 5 years.
No, that's not true. Remember when we got those adult coloring books with the
Yeah.
butterflies and the...
And we did that together. But wasn't that before the pandemic?
Oh, wait, you're right. That was before the pandemic. Okay. So we're going to leave him like that for a bit. Well, actually, normally I would clean him up a lot on the bottom. But because we're going to turn him into our phone holder, I actually don't need to do that. Okay, so I'm going to mix up some resin to do the final part of our phone holder, and we'll be right back. Stick around. Okay, and we're back, and we have a little under 30, a little over 20 ml of 1-to-1, again, Bond Crafter 1-to-1 epoxy resin. And there goes our security guard. To be fair, I heard somebody moving their trash can. This is the Unicorn Crushed Crystal. I'm putting very little in there. Very little. Because very little goes a long way. And that, by the way, was at the request of the kid. I was going to use silver foil flakes, but crushed crystal.
Yeah.
Very little of it goes such a long way. Just the more you mix it, the sparklier it gets. I don't know. It like breaks it down. So you want to make sure you scrape your stick. Okay. So this is a diamond that we had made on a previous pour. I'll put that right there at the tip of our geode. And Mr. Bunny's going to go back here. And then we pour. Actually, yeah, let's do this. Because I want to make sure that I get all the resin where it needs to be. And we are going to let that cure overnight. We will come back tomorrow and see what we've got. See you later. Okay, we're back. This is the next morning. And we have our bunny. No big reveal because you saw what we did. I wasn't sure, but the diamond and the bunny seem to be in very well. The reason I wasn't sure is normally, I don't do it this way. Normally, I would just stick these guys down with a little E6000. But I decided since I had to do that final pour of resin to even up my geode, I would just plop these guys in. There's a little cleanup necessary just around the edges, but that's fairly easy. I'll just use probably my craft knife, only because there's so many nooks and crannies on this. It would make the burring tool not pleasant to use. But I'm actually going to let these harden up for a while because I have noticed with Bond Crafter resin, you can demold much earlier than the other resins. But with this one, it takes a couple days before it's, fully hard enough to where I would be comfortable trimming and not destroying the piece. But there is our little buddy phone holder. And, if this was your phone, you would just, boop, put it right like that. And they do hold. They hold very well. I use them all the time in several rooms of my home. So there you have it, our little bunny phone holder. Thanks for watching. Bye.